Okay. Welcome back to the series of lecture on finite element analysis. So in this, we're going to see about one of the variational method called weighted residual method to solve any kind of differential equations. So that too, we are going to see specifically an application-oriented problem. So we are going to solve one solid mechanics problem. So in which we are going to explain about the weighted residual method. Okay. So in the earlier classes, so we discussed about what are the methods are involved in weighted residual method, how to solve the weighted residual method. Okay. So we discussed about how to form and governing equation and how to impose and boundary conditions and all. Okay. So today we're going to explain it in detail with an illustration uh, based on a problem on solid mechanics. Okay. So as we discussed earlier, uh, there are four different methods are involved in minimizing the residuals involved in any functions. Okay. So there are four different methods are there in order to reduce the residual functions or reduce the error. So those methods are called point collocation method, subdomain collocation method, least square method, and Galerkin method. So these are the four different methods are there to reduce the error in solving any kinds of problem. Okay. So now we will discuss in detail about all these four techniques to resolve all those governing equations. Then illustration. So we are going to consider one simple structure called a beam. Okay, it's actually a simply supported beam. So here you can see, okay, you can see one simply supported beam. It is carrying a uniformly distributed load over here, and see the total length of the beam is actually L, and as I said, X is varying from 0 to L. Okay, and step one in solving this problem based on the weighted residual method is actually forming a governing equation for this kind of problem. What is the problem involves here in beams is to find the deflection across its entire span. Okay, in between any location, you're supposed to find what could be the deflection occurring at that particular point. So this is what our problem. Okay, so in such a case, what could be the governing equation? Step one is to form a governing equation and impose the boundary condition upon the problem. Okay, so here we discussed earlier what could be the governing equation for this using laws of solid mechanics from the strength of materials. You might have known this. Okay, EI into d power 4V divided by dx power 4 minus q naught is equal to 0 here, where V is actually a deflection, vertical deflection on the beam. Okay, at any particular location. Dx indicates the variation of length. Okay, at any particular, I mean variation of locations. Otherwise, we can say. So V is nothing but the deflection. X is nothing but the locations. Okay. E is Young's modulus, and I is called moment of inertia of the beam of any cross section. So let us consider this a circular cross section, or it can be a square cross section, whatever may be. Okay, and X modulus indicates the stiffness of this beam, and Q naught indicates the uniformly distributed load over the entire span. Okay, so this is what the governing equation for this problem. So now, as we discussed earlier, what could be the power of the governing equation? The power of the governing equation is actually 4. The power of the governing equation is 4. That's why how many boundary conditions are needed to solve this problem? So we require 4 boundary conditions. We require 4 different boundary conditions. What are those? So first thing is, since at the end, okay, at the end there would be no deflection. Okay, so the deflection will come like this. The deflection is come like this. Okay, so here there won't be any deflection at the extreme ends. There won't be any deflection at extreme ends. So that is why at x equal to 0, we'll be having vertical deflection is equal to 0. And similarly, at x equal to L, at the end of the beam, V is equal to 0, vertical deflection is 0. Similarly, there won't be any moment at this particular point. So there won't be any moment at this particular point. So that's why we can denote it as a d square. Actually speaking, EI into d square V by dx square is called the moment. EI into d square V by dx square is called the moment. When you equate it to 0, this both EI is a constant. So if you bring this in this side, this term will become 0. So in turn, the d square V by d square is equal to 0. Okay. So since the moment is 0 at the both the sides, right from beginning until the end, I'm sorry, and at the extreme ends, at x equal to 0 and x equal to L. At both the locations, the moment will be 0. So deflection will be 0, moment will be 0 at the both the ends. So this is what the boundary conditions involved in this particular problem. Okay, for any kind of problem, this term will become constant for a particularly beam problem. EI into d power 4b by dx power 4. Okay, if it is there, if there are any uniformly distributed load, then it will carry minus q naught at all. Okay. Okay. In step number 2, what we are going to do. So here, hello, yeah. Now in step number 2, we are going to assume a trial function. So we are going to assume a trial function. So there are, as we discussed, there are two different kinds of trial functions are there. One is called polynomial and another one is called trigonometrical trial function. So since the degree of the governing equation is high, degree of the governing equation is high, and it will be more opt if you choose this particular trigonometrical function. If you choose the trigonometrical function, so few advantages are there in selecting these trigonometrical function. Okay, there are few advantages are there in selecting this trigonometrical function. So in case of polynomial function, what we are supposed to do is, so we used to choose at least take this instance, d square 4 by d square 4b by dx power 4 is the degree of the, I mean, governing equation. What is the degree of the equation? It is 4. If in case if you choose the polynomial function, you have to choose up to 4 degree in the trial function. So a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3 x cube, likewise it will go. Okay, so up to 4 terms, 4 degree in the polynomial equations you have to choose. Okay, and you have to apply all those boundary conditions, and then you have to bring down into a single unknown parameter. So this is how you have to proceed in case if you choose a polynomial function. But it is not the case in case of a trial trigonometrical trial function. Okay, so we can start with a single parameter itself. So we can start with a1 into sine pi x by L. It is more than enough. So if you want to have more accuracy, you can go ahead with one more additional term in polynomial equation. What could be the additional term? And actually, I think a1 sine pi x by L plus a2 into sine 3 pi x by L. Likewise, it will go. Okay, so let us start with the single term. Okay, so that is what. So we are going to choose up to one term, and the equation becomes y of x is equal to a1 into sine pi x by L. Okay, this is step number 2. And how to proceed? Third step. Okay, up to this, finding out the residual function. The the steps, I mean, the procedure is same for all four methods, point collocation, subdomain collocation, least square, and Galerkin method. To for four different methods, the procedure is till the step number 3. Okay, what is step number 3? Finding out the residual function. As we discussed earlier, what is the residual function? Simply substituting the value of trial function in the governing equation. That is what the residual function. Okay, residual functions means what? Applying those trial function in the governing equation. We are assuming that governing equation holds good for this particular chosen trial function. That is what it's meaning. Okay, so we are going to assume it. This is a correct solution for the problem. Okay, we are assuming that the variation of v, right, is behave like this: a1 sine pi x by l. We are assuming it, and so that is what we're going to deal it. Okay, so what we are going to assume is by applying the governing equation, I mean by applying the residual function, I mean trial function in the governing equation is what the next step. Okay, so for that, what we have to do is you have to differentiate this trial function. You have to differentiate this trial function for the 4 times. Why? Because in the governing equation, we'll be having 4 degree. Okay, up to 4 times you have to differentiate the equation. So simply, if you differentiate the equation once, you will get a1 into sine cos pi x by l becomes cos pi x by l, and again you will get the term called pi by l. Okay, so before you will get pi by l into a1 into cos by x by l, and once again, if you differentiate the term with respect to x, again you will get one more term added together, and I mean you have to multiply it. So pi by l the whole square you will get, and cos term becomes minus sine term minus sine pi x by l. Okay, and if you differentiate the term pi x by l, you will get pi by l, and again you have to multiply it by pi by l. The pi by l term becomes minus into pi by l the whole square. Okay, similarly, if you differentiate one more time, again you will get one more term pi by l while differentiating the equation pi x by l, and this term becomes pi by l the whole cube, and the sine, if you differentiate the sine term, it will become cos pi x by l. Okay, and one more time you have to differentiate it. So if you differentiate one more time, you will get pi by l the whole power 4, and cos becomes again minus sine. You will get plus term here. So for d power 4 v by dx power 4 is equal to, this term will become pi by l whole power 4 into sine pi x by l. Okay. So this is what the value of d power 4 v by dx power 4. So our aim is to substitute this value. This is actually a trial function. This is actually a trial function. So you have to substitute this trial function in this governing equation. That is what it's meaning. Actually applying 2 in 1. So this equation, say this equation is 2. You need to apply this 2 in 1. If you substitute the value of 2 in 1, you will get again residual function. So residual function becomes Rd is equal to Ei into, instead of d power 4 v by dx power 4, you can substitute the value of pi by l the whole power 4 into sine pi x by l. So instead of this, you will get Ei into pi by l the whole power 4 into sine pi x by l, sine pi x by l. So you will get this term here instead of d power 4 v by dx power 4. So minus q naught minus q naught. So this is the residual function. This is the residual function. Okay. So now let us move on to the next step called minimizing the error. So as we discussed, now there are 4 different methods are there to minimizing the residual or minimizing the error. One is called a point collocation method, and so with this point collocation method, let us explain how to minimize the residual. Minimize the residual here. So what is the step involved in point collocation method? What is the step involved in point collocation method? So we have to assume that residual function is minimized at any particular location. So that is what it's meaning. So point collocation means what? We are supposed to assume the error is equal to 0, or we are going to minimize the error at any particular location. So now we are going to assume that location is x is equal to L by 2. Why? Because we'll be getting the maximum deflection at the center of the simply supported beam. So that's why we can say that. Okay. So let me rub all those things. Okay. So here, in point collocation method, and so at any particular location, so we are going to assume x is equal to L by 2 here, x is equal to L by 2 here. At this particular location, we are going to make residual as 0 here. We are going to make residual as 0 here. So in such a case, what we have to do? So we need to apply this location. Instead of x, we have to put L by 2. So if you put L by 2, in the starting itself, we can make this term as 1. Why? Because you will get sine pi by 2, sine pi by 2, sine 90, the value becomes 1, and it will be the maximum value here. Okay. Or else you can substitute the value later. So whatever the convenient way, you can do it. So here, EI into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L. E1 into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L is the actually minus q naught is actually the residual function. So what we are going to do is we are going to substitute this value x equal to L by 2, and then we are going to make it to 0. We are going to make it to 0. Okay. So if you make it to 0, what this term becomes A1 is equal to, you will get q naught into L power 4 divided by pi power 4 EI into sine pi x by L. Okay. So here if you put x equal to L by 2, then this term will become 1, and you can write the coefficient. That's more than enough. Q naught into L power 4 divided by pi power 4 EI. So this is the value of A1. This is the value of A1. Our aim is to substitute this value of the unknown parameter A1 in the trial function. If you substitute the value of A in the unknown parameter in the trial function, and you will be getting the solution for the problem. Okay, so if you substitute this, you will get the vertical deflection as q naught into L power 4. I mean, what is the function? Actually, A1 into sine pi x by L is the trial function. A1 v of x is equal to what? A1 into sine pi x by L. Instead of A1, we can substitute this equation, q naught into L power 4 divided by pi power 4 EI. So if you substitute this value, you will get the solution for the problem. So v of x is equal to q naught into L power 4 divided by pi power 4 EI into sine pi x by L. So this is what the solution for the problem. And in turn, if you reduce the term 1 divided by pi power 4, you will be getting 0.0102. 0.0129 actually into q naught into L power 4 divided by EI. Okay. Just remember this answer. Why? Because we're going to check the accuracy of the solution for each method. So we're going to check the accuracy of each method. Okay. And okay, next method is subdomain collocation method. Next method is subdomain collocation method. So here, so let us see how the solution is, how we are getting the solution using this term. Okay. So here, okay. So here, what we are going to do is, instead of making RD is equal to 0, so we are going to splitting up the entire domain into different top according to our convenient. So here I am taking as a single domain. So right from x is equal to 0 at x is equal to L. Okay, so this is actually a domain. So this is a problem. So we are going to take the entire span x is equal to 0 to x is equal to L. Okay. So if I want more accurate solution, I need to split this into two different halves. So x is equal to 0 to x is equal to L by 2. So to L by 2, from L by 2 to L. Okay. So If you want further more accuracy, again you have to split the beam into 4 different parts. Likewise, you can further divide the entire domain into subdomains according to the accuracy you want. Okay. So for our convenient, I'm just going to take it as a single domain. So here, in case if you divide the entire domain into 4, what you will get from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1 by 4, and 1 by 4 to half, and half to 3 by 2. Okay. And again, you'll get the value of maximum x is equal to L. Okay. So here L x is equal to 0, that is L by 4, it is L by 2 or 3L by 2, and you will get maximum L. Okay. So for our convenient, I'm going to take it as a single domain here. Okay, single domain here. Okay, so what is the formula involved? So you have to make the integral as 0. Integration of residual function must be equal to 0. So since I'm going to take the entire domain, the limit of the integration goes like this: 0 to L, up to 0 to L, integration of RD of x into dx is equal to 0. So this is what the formula, in which you're going to substitute the value of RD. Already we have calculated the value of RD, residual function. Okay, this is common for all the method. Residual function is common for all the method. So I'm going to substitute the RD value here in this different, integral equation. Okay, if you substitute the value, the equation becomes like this: A1 into, so here, A1 comes here. Okay. A1 comes here. And you'll get A1 into EI pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L minus Q naught is the residual function. So you have to make it 0. Okay. So if you integrate this equation, what you will get? You will get, instead of sine pi x by L, you will get minus cos pi x by L. And if you integrate the term pi x by L, you will get divided by pi by L. And this term, if you bring into the numerator, so you will get L by pi. And again, if you substitute the value of the upper limit and the lower limit, you will get cos pi x by L instead of cos x. If you put L, you will get cos pi. Cos pi minus 1 becomes minus 1. So you will get 1 here. And again, in the lower limit, you will get minus. Again, this, if you multiply this minus into minus plus. So plus cos 0 is 1. So you will get cos pi. Actually, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You will get 2. Okay. So here, instead of this term, we'll get 2 if you apply the limit. Okay, this term becomes into 2a1 into ei into pi cube divided by L cube. This term will become pi cube, and here this will become L cube. Okay, and you will be getting 2a1 into ei into pi cube by L cube is equal to Q naught into L. If you integrate this dx, you will get x. If you apply the limit, you will get L. Okay, in turn, you will get the equation like this. So if you simplify this equation, again, you will get the value of the unknown parameter A1 is equal to Q naught into L power 4 divided by 2 pi cube into EI. Okay, so if you substitute this unknown parameter in the trial function, you'll be getting the solution here. And we will get the vertical deflection as V of x is equal to, if you simplify this 1 divided by 2 pi cube, you'll get 0.0161 into Q naught into L power 4 divided by EI. So we can cross check the answer with the previous method called the point collocation. Point collocation method, we are getting the value as 0.0102, but here we are getting the answer as 0.016. Okay, so a little bit variation is there in the solution. Okay, so next, if you move on to the method called least square method. The least square method. So in the least square method, the formula goes like this: I is equal to integration of 0 to L into R square into dx is equal to 0. Okay. So if you differentiate this term, you will get R into dr by dA1 is equal to 0. And you can use either method. You can use this method or this method also. Okay, both formula is same. So for our convenient, let us take this equation Okay, why? Because if you term the square, so it will be quite difficult for us to integrate. So that's why I'm choosing this equation. Dou I by, I mean, di by dA1 is equal to integration of 0 to L up to R into dr by dA1 is equal to 0. Okay, so I require two different terms. One is residual, and another one is called differentiation of the residual with, in terms of a known parameter. Okay. So if I substitute the value of R, already I know the value of R is equal to what? EI into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L, okay, minus Q naught. So if you differentiate this term with respect to unknown parameter, you will get the equation as EI into pi by L whole power 4 into sine pi x by L. Why? Because the value of A1 becomes 1 here. And again, if you differentiate, if you substitute both the value in the differential, integral equation, you will get EI into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L minus Q naught. So this is actually R value. And instead of dr by dA1, you can substitute the value of EI into pi by L the whole power 4 into sine pi x by L. Okay. So we can make it as into dx, into dx is equal to 0. Into dx is equal to 0. Okay. And so you need to multiply this term. This is actually a common term, EI into pi by L the whole power 4, EI into pi by L into whole power 4. So you can bring down to the right hand side. So this term will become 0. So only thing is you have to multiply it by sine pi x by L. Okay, you just multiply with sine pi x by L on both the terms. Okay, you will get EI into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4 into instead of sine pi x by L, you will get sine square pi x by L minus Q naught into sine pi x by L. Okay. So next task is to integrate this equation. If you integrate this equation, what you will get? You take this term outside. Why? Because it is a constant EI into A1 into pi by L the whole power 4. If you integrate the sine square theta, so what is the sine square theta formula? It is 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2 into dx. Okay. And further, it is minus Q naught into sine pi x by L. And so if you go to the next slide, so the solution for the integral equation here. Okay, the solution for the the solution for the cos 1 plus cos 2x by 2. So you will get this equation. Okay, sine, instead of cos you will get sine 2 pi x by L. If you integrate this equation to 2 pi x by L, you get 2 pi by L in the denominator, and plus you will get x by 2. Okay. Okay, plus x by 2 you will get. So in addition to this, you will get plus q naught into L by pi, L by pi into cos pi x by you have to substitute the lower and the upper limit. So if you want to find the solution for this equation, you will get instead of sine, if you integrate the sine term, you will get minus cos. So that's why this term become plus, and you will get L by pi. You will get L by pi in the as a coefficient. Okay, so if you further reduce this equation, so you can get the value of A1 as 4 Q naught into L power 4 divided by pi power 5 into EI, pi power 5 into EI. So this is what the solution, value of the unknown parameter. If you substitute the value of unknown parameter in the governing, trial function, then again you will get the equation like this: V of x is equal to 0.0131 into QL power 4 divided by EA into sin pi x by L. Okay, so there are variation in accuracy of answers when compared with all those three methods. So there is a slightly low value in the point collocation, again slight higher value in subdomain collocation method. If you take a least square method, almost you will getting 0.0131. Okay. So let us further move on to the next method called Galerkin method, how to solve the problem on the Galerkin method. So here in the Galerkin method, right, the integral of weighted function and the residual function becomes 0. So that is what the meaning of the Galerkin method here. So you need two different functions. One is called weighted function and another one is called residual function. You require two different functions. Residual functions we know. Then what do you mean by a weighted function? Weighted function is none other than the trial function. Okay. Simply we can say the coefficient of the unknown parameter in the trial function is the weighted function. The weighted function is otherwise we can term it as interpolation functions also. Okay. So if you substitute the value here, okay, so v of x is equal to a1 into sine pi x by l. So this term becomes w of x is equal to sine pi x by l. Okay, so w of x is equal to sine pi x by l is actually the weighted function. So you need to apply two different functions in the integral equation. So here w of x, instead of w of x, you can substitute the value of sine pi x by l. Instead of rd of x, you can substitute the value of ei into pi by l the whole power 4 into sine pi x by l minus q naught. Okay. Again, what we are supposed to do is you need to apply this in the integral equation. Here, instead of rd of x, w of x will be having sine pi x by l. Instead of rd of x, will be having this term. Okay. So again, we'll be having the replica of the equation which we discussed in the least square method. So we'll be having same equation you are getting. Okay. So similar kind of answer you will get in case of Galerkin method. So you will be getting the equation as 0.013. And let us consider what is the solution for the exact method. This is actually approximation method as we discussed. And what exactly the solution for this problem? From the strength of materials, we know the vertical deflection, maximum vertical deflection is actually 5 by 384. 5 by 384 into W or Q naught, whatever may be. Q naught into L power 4 divided by EI. So this is what the maximum vertical deflection for simply supported beam when it has been subjected to uniformly distributed load, right? So if you further simplify this term, 5 by 384, we'll be getting 0.031, I think. 0.031 into Q naught into L power 4 divided by EI. So approximate, exactly we are getting this answer by means of a Galerkin method. So from this, what you're going to infer is, so Galerkin method, actually it will give the exact solution. I mean, which will give an accurate solution, almost nearer to the exact solution. Okay, when compared with all other solutions called point collocation, least square, subdomain collocation. Compared with all those three, the Galerkin method is preferred for solving those kind of problems. Okay, I think with this we shall conclude the weighted residual method. Okay, so next we'll be discussing about solving energy method, otherwise Rayleigh-Ritz method. So in the upcoming classes. Thank you.